What is up, guys? We're going to be going over a few things here in video today because there is no way I could cover this in a few tweets. We're going to look at Bitcoin, we're going to look at Ethereum, we're going to look at what could happen in the next 3-4 days leading up to July 7th, July 8th, and how that could affect the entire crypto space. Because at the moment, Bitcoin is doing nothing. You might have your own opinions on that, and that's fine, but Ethereum has been carrying the market and outperforming Bitcoin since about June 22nd. And we're going to take a closer look at all those dates and how things are shaping up leading up to today. So the reason we're really focusing on Ethereum, and I'm doing a video about this, is because as of the last 24 hours, Ethereum is now in uptrend territory. It has not been there since May 19th. May 19th being the big market crash across the entire crypto space. Bitcoin, on the other hand, is still in downtrend territory. It's pushing against resistance. There is also a down trend in the RSI I've been following that it's also kind of pushed up against, so it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. It has been above the resistance level a couple times back here when it did kind of peak above into 41K, but it kind of lost that pretty quick. So let's start off by looking at June 22nd. June 22nd on Bitcoin. Bitcoin loses 30K, which is a pretty crucial support level. Drops down to 28,000. It begins to grind back up, but in no bullish way, really. Because if you look at all these other times where we wick down, big move up, wick down, big move up. This time it wicked down, and it wasn't really a big move up. If anything, it was just a very slow grind against these resistance levels day by day. The only times it did have any level of a grind upwards was due to Ethereum and the London hard fork. So let's take a look at June 22nd on Ethereum. So June 22nd on Ethereum. Ethereum drops down to 17,000 and starts grinding back up immediately. However, in a much more bullish fashion than Bitcoin has been. And we're going to take a look at the RSI here. So June 22nd, price drops to 17,000. June 22nd, RSI hits this lower support and then immediately just takes off. Heads straight towards resistance, challenges it once, pulls back, and then just pops right through today. Same with price action. I mean, you can kind of see, went straight up, pulled back, hung around the moving average, moved back up, challenged support, and now it has broken out, and it has a pretty clear shot to about, I'd say 25,000. But with Bitcoin kind of being capped off here, the question is, how is this going to play out across the market? So to try and figure that out, we're going to take a closer look at Ethereum here. June 22nd, Ethereum drops down to 17,000. With June 24th being the first testnet, it starts to grind back up in price. The day after the testnet, June 25th, Ethereum, there's a sell-off, drops back down to 17,000. June 30th being the second testnet. Again, as of after the sell-off, Ethereum starts grinding back up. June 30th, price spikes, hits resistance. July 1st, sell-off, price pulls back down. And it looks like Ethereum is now grinding back up in price leading up to the last and final date of the testnet, July 7th. So the question is, how high can it go, and how much of the market can it put on its back, and what's going to happen after July 7th? Because at the moment, the entire crypto market is pumping because it's kind of a cause and effect thing, it looks like, right? Altcoins pump when Bitcoin pumps. They don't pump when Ethereum pumps. There was a couple times throughout the year where we've seen Bitcoin and altcoins kind of dipping down, but Ethereum doing its own thing. Currently, though, Ethereum is carrying Bitcoin. Ethereum pumping is not making Bitcoin pump, but it's making Bitcoin kind of hang on. So the question is, what happens after July 7th, and also how high can this go leading up to July 7th? So to figure that out, we're going to come back to the Ethereum daily chart, and we're going to take a look at some price targets, and then we're going to take a look at how those price targets could affect Bitcoin, which affects all altcoins. Personally, I'm going to be capping this off at 2,500. I don't think it could go much higher. It could come, maybe a little bit above, maybe find some support above here leading up to the final hours after the testnet. I think 2,800 is pretty extreme. I think 2,800 would be too bullish for the state of the market right now. If it does break towards 2,800 and manages to peak above at any point or find any level of support here, that is a good time to go long, because that could have pretty big implications for the rest of the entire crypto space. Same scenarios with Bitcoin. Personally, I'm going to be capping this push to 37,000, maybe 39, 40,000. If it gets much higher than that, I'd be pretty shocked. I don't see any reason for it to go above 41,000. However, if it does go above 41,000 and find some level of support around here and push to challenge 42,000, if at any point it breaks above, if Ethereum is pushing 2,800 and Bitcoin is pushing 42.5, 4,300, that's a good time to start paying attention, and that's a good time that things could get pretty bullish. But both of those scenarios, in my opinion, will not be happening. 25,000 is where I will be capping this. After that, I'd say July 7th is when we would see, I would say, a substantially higher sell-off than we've seen so far, because there are probably a group of people who don't sell off after each testnet. They've been waiting for the final one, because at the end of the day, price is continuing to trend upwards. And I did put this around 2,800. That doesn't mean that's where I think it's going. I just put the date up there. I'm imagining it's going to go more around here, this 2,500 line, which is the white line that you guys can see there. I think the next 2.5 days is going to be pretty slow, just a slow grind with some upside in it, and people might get pretty bullish, but you got to keep all of this in mind, because on July 8th is when I believe we're going to start to see a pretty quick downtrend in price. For Bitcoin, my price targets are still around 32,000, which will be the first support, and how it reacts to there is how I will look to see where it goes from there. I still think it's more likely that we come back down. We test 27,000 if we want to go up from there, possible, but there's really no way to predict that far ahead for now. I'm just looking at 32,000 as a price target. I'd say by July 8th, maybe not July 8th, by July 9th, July 10th, it should be around 32,000. Ethereum, same deal. I'm assuming after the test nets are all done, 2,500 will be lost. We'll probably come back here, test around 2,000, and then start to trend down towards, we'll come back down here, test around 2,300, and then work our way down towards 2,000 and potentially lower. But I would be looking more around this target leading up to, let's say, July 9th, July 10th. So yeah, just keep that in mind, guys. I'm not getting bullish by any of this. The only times I would be getting bullish, again, is if I said if we start to see 2,800 and if we start to see 42.5, 4,300 on Bitcoin. Keep in mind, I am not a financial advisor. These are just the things that I will be keeping an eye on in the coming days.